Damn, I don't think it take that long to go live. Hey, hey, hey! We are live. We are live.
Yeah.
This is another episode of In Between the Zones. We're still playing around with the name, but
I like it.
I like In Between the I like In Between the Zone.
I like it.
We was actually messing around with this when we were at other studios just testing it out. But since we're putting in more content, I think In Between the Zone will become a catchier thing.
Okay.
Appreciate all you guys that come out to another episode of In Between the Zones. I have a good brother, good friend, family, friend of the show, Mr. Tristan. Shout out to Tristan TV.
Yes, sir.
He is the co-host of Rolling with Ramos, with another one of our good friends and fellow Morganite, Mikael Ramos,
Yep.
and he has a new venture, correct?
Yeah.
Just a fan podcast.
Yes, sir. Just fan
I
contact.
got a chance to. I started listening to it at work, but then of course, at work I get interrupted.
Yeah.
I get interrupted work and things like that. But I did get a chance to listen to it, and I will continue because I'm really interested to see what you got to say about the Ravens. But again, welcome, brother.
Yeah, man.
Impromptu. We literally talked yesterday. and put this together. Oh gosh. Oh, shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Chance. He must have seen the thumbnail. And Tristan, I don't know if you got a chance to see it. Check the thumbnail out for this on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It's crazy, but I'm Crevonte Hurde, the voice of reason, co-founder of the Flex Zone, captain of the goofy ship, as Byron always says. And we are me and my good brother here are talking about the recent name change of the formerly known Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, and now they are known as, drum roll please, the Washington Commanders. I thought that was a beverage. I was like, "Oh, Tristan, you drinking already, brother?"
Listen, I might as well be when I saw this name.
But okay, so longtime fans.
Yeah.
We knew of why the initial name, the Redskins, had to change. There's a lot of pressure from outside sources, and Daniel Snyder was, even though he was adamant and never changed his name, but he was able to see the light and see the brighter side and change it. So Tristan, is there anything you want the folks to know about you before we get into this? Because we're gonna definitely get into it.
Well, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll do the pleasantries. So yes, I'm Tristan, also known as Tristan TV, the man with the gift of the gab. I do 2 sports podcasts. So every Thursday, Rolling with Ramos with our girl Mikael. Shout out to Morgan State. Mikael Ramos, she is the founder and the host of the show. So we're every Thursday on Facebook Live, and then you can catch our episode on YouTube and anywhere that you listen to your podcast every Friday. I also have a show called Just a Fan Podcast. It's me and a couple of my fraternity brothers and a good friend of ours, and that one is more football centric. We talk about the NFL and college football. You can catch us on Facebook Live every Tuesday evening, and then you can catch our episodes if you miss it. Catch us every Wednesday on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. So Just a Fan Podcast on Tuesdays, Rolling with Ramos on Thursdays.
Oh no.
We just be podcasting it up all the time.
It's good. It's good to hear,
Yeah, I got
brother. Yeah, I got 2 sports podcasts because it's never enough. It's never enough to talk about. It's never enough to go around. But we're gonna get into it. So Tristan, before I get into my spiel, what are your initial thoughts after hearing the Washington team become the Washington Commanders around about 12 hours ago, around 9 a.m. or so?
Yeah. So, um, I mean, even before then, we kind of had the clues, like Dan Snyder said this morning in the unveiling. It was the best. What he said, the best non-kept secret in the
Yes.
DMV.
Yeah.
We had a chopper that saw the name in Washington's sports store. Joe Theismann, God bless him. He basically got okey doked into confessing that the name was the Commanders on that show. I don't even think he realized that he got okey doked, but he did.
No, no.
Yeah, he definitely got okey doked in that. So we knew it prior. So, but just to hear it this morning. So, for those that don't know, as well as me being a serial podcaster, I also work for WJLA ABC 7. So, we were talking about it all morning, talking about the name, and when we broke to it. My initial thought, man, when I heard it, it sounded like you remember when we were kids and Fox 5 Saturday morning cartoons was popping.
Of
That's what
course.
it sounded like to me when I heard it. It was like a cartoon that was coming out on a Saturday morning, like the Washington Commanders. It was just like I felt like it was like a remix to GI Joe cartoon show. Like that's how I felt about it initially, and then and immediately I thought when I saw the colors and I saw the name, I immediately thought Comey. And then when I go on Twitter, that's what everybody's saying is Comey's. And I'm like, that was my initial thought. So if I thought of that and people of Twitter thought of that, how did that not come to the mind of the Jason Wrights, the Dan Snyders, the Tanya Snyders of the world? Like y'all spent 18 months trying to figure this out. And
18, bro.
this is what you come up with. Um, maybe it'll grow on me. If we start winning more consistently. I will say this. I will admit this. The merchandise is fire. I love the uniforms, and I know we'll dive into it a little more. I do like I don't really care for the all white. I don't like the white. I love the black. Um, when we did a live hit into the Washington's sports store, some of the merchandise and stuff we got to see. It looks good. I'll give it that. But the name, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I was getting teased all day. Everybody's blowing up my phone all day talking about this name, but it is what it is. This is where we are.
Just
we
joke.
it was
It's always been jokes, man.
it was always
I
jokes.
don't. I'm absolutely tired of it, man. And so I might have woken up a couple minutes prior to them announcing it because I have I follow a couple Washington football team sports groups on Facebook, so I get notifications when things like that come up because I didn't know the time of this. I know it's gonna be afternoon, morning,
Right.
or what have you. So I might have had one eye open maybe at best, and I was I tapped in. I definitely tapped in, and I was just like, I feel like my initial thoughts were like were like beforehand because I knew it was going to be the Commanders because Washington can't hold water. You know what I'm
For
saying? As a
nothing.
franchise
For nothing.
for absolutely nothing. I was like, y'all held this for 18 months and y'all couldn't even make it to February 2nd.
At all.
Whatever. So so initial thoughts. Once I found out that it wasn't going to be the Red Wolves, I kind of tapped out. I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of tapped out because I was like, man, y'all can really turn this thing around, get the fan base hyped about something, and back in the stands, you can really play on the Red Wolves or even the Red Tails, something. But I was really hoping for the Red Wolves, and
Me
early
too.
on, a few months back, they were saying like no, due to legal issues, trademarking issues, basically money issues. Uh, the Red Wolves will no longer be an option. Kind of tapped out because I knew it was going to be something goofy after that.
Right.
So they said I knew it's either going to be I had it was down to the admirals and the commanders, and I was like, they are really pushing this military,
Military, yeah.
they are really pushing this. And initially, I didn't like it. I say I didn't. I don't like it because it's the same day.
You're right.
It's uniforms. Like if we're gonna pull a silver lining, uniforms are. I love the black. Like I'm all in for a black uniform. For all black uniform. You know what I'm saying? White ones I could do without. The burgundy ones or red, whatever you want to call it. I guess burgundy. The name commanders are too big. I think it's too much. Like on NFL teams, the team name is it's just there. It's small though. It's not. It doesn't dominate the jersey by no means. It looked like that on the burgundy one, and I hope they revamp that by time September. August, September come around.
Here's the thing. Even with the white one, someone said this in the control room, and then I couldn't unsee it. They said the white ones reminded them of the early 90s Atlanta Falcons white uniform. And I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't unsee it after that. And so when I look at it, I'm like, dang, y'all might want to rethink that because it does. It does look like Atlanta Falcons all white. Like if they were to bring that back for Atlanta for a throwback game, it would look just like it. So yeah, I mean, it's just the all black I was for. And just like you said, with the Commanders, I kind of did the same thing like you. When I heard Red Bulls was off the table, I was kind of dejected from there because I knew it just wasn't going to be better. I'm like, that was the name, everybody you saw everybody was doing like the mock color scheme and how it was going to look, and it was it just would have made so much sense. You got the stadium, you get like a howling wolf sound to go through the stadium. It just would have worked. It just would have made so much sense. It would have worked. Still paying homage to the Native Americans. It just would have made it made too much sense to work out basically. And that's what I was upset about. It made too much sense for us. And so once I saw that was off the table, which I don't understand, Dan Snyder, you're literally a multi-billionaire. What price tag was on that trademark for that name that you wasn't willing to pay for? Like, what was the number? Because I would have paid for that. I would have been like, look, what you want? What you want for it? I want the name. What you want for it? I got you. Like I said, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe. But I definitely wish we could have stayed with the Washington football team. I rather would have just stayed with that for the time being and be like, all right, yeah, do it over. We even did a poll. We did a poll this morning. 83% of fans hate the name. 83%. 83% hate the name. I'm just like, come on. Like, that should tell you right there. So the other, 14, 15% are probably old military guys that are like, and it's no disrespect to the military. Thank you for your service. No disrespect. But it's probably old military guys that are like, oh yeah, you're paying homage to the military. Like, it's Washington D.C. It's It's gotta grow on me. The only thing that's saving them is that all black uniform is tough.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, but them uniforms though. No, not even the uniforms. That one.
That one.
That one. I'm like, I don't know how often y'all gonna wear them,
right?
But it need to be about half the time. At least give me half.
Half the season, you need to have that one.
That needs to be y'all home uniforms.
For real.
Shout out. We got a couple folks checking in. My man Chance is in here. Raj, what up? He said the Washingtons. I hate him. Shout to Byron coming through. He said not only does Tristan do sports on your TV, he will do an amazing job mounting your TV. Look at that.
I appreciate the plug, brother. I do mount TVs. Morris Media Solutions. Check out my Instagram. All my work is on there. Just look for Morris Media Solutions. I definitely will come and mount your TV, sound systems, security systems, whatever you need.
Boom, boom, boom. Shameless plug. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm always plugging, man.
Shout out to Tiffany. What's up, baby?
That was good.
Who else is in here? Mark, what it do, baby? Checking in. And he said, sounds like a franchise from Any Given Sunday. Thanks.
Man, oh
Thanks.
no. And that makes so much sense.
It does. It does. It absolutely does.
Oh my God. I think I referenced this morning. I said, you remember when like Madden first came out with franchise mode, and you might have been bold and like created your own team. Like that's the name you would give your created team on the Madden.
That's one of them generic names that you would give your team.
Yes.
Shout out to Roger's still on joke time. He said the Suburban Commandos. I hate him. Absolutely hate him.
And listen, I can't be upset. I can't. And, we just gotta take it. We just gotta take the hits because it's like what
oh no, yeah, I ain't fighting.
It's like, what do we say? What do we say? And then the unveiling
it's on joke time.
It was so dry. It was just like, here's the video, here's the name, here's the uniforms. Congratulations. Like Joe Theismann, you had to speak. You didn't really have to speak, Joe, but apparently Joe Theismann had to say something. And then you know they're gonna bring Jonathan Allen up there. And here's the thing: Pro Football Focus retweeted a video from early fall, and somebody was interviewing Chase Young and talking about the possibility of names. Do you know what he graded the Commanders when that was a possible name on the list? You know what he graded it as? An F. An F. Like, your second round pick, one of your cornerstone players potentially, graded the current name that you had an F. And here's the thing. Here's the thing I think that upsets me. Jason Wright really went on to say that we're taking the fans' opinions in consideration. We're talking to all the alumni players. We want to make sure that it's something that everybody can get behind. Everyone feels involved. 83% of your fans do not like the name. So apparently that means that you didn't involve your fans, because the names that they even suggested weren't even considered, except for like the Red Wolves and Red Tails. There were other names. I would have even taken Red Hogs. Somebody said Red Hogs. I would have taken Red Hogs. I literally would have taken Red Hogs over Commanders. I really would have. Because I'm like, okay, you're paying homage. Like, you don't even have a connection to the Washington tradition. So, like, even if you said Red Hogs, I'm like, okay, you had the Hogs back in the day. That's when everything was, it made sense. Commanders. It just seems super random.
I'm like, I just feel like if I waited a year and a half for this, I could have got something better.
They made it seem like they were doing such a due diligence in their research and everything, and I'm just like, this is what you came up with? This is what we came down to? Yeah. And like I said, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe if we have a good record, I know we're going to dive into, as far as like team needs and stuff. Maybe if the team is successful, it might be something that grows onto it. Because right now they don't even have a fight song. Like I said, we were doing all the reporting all day. They don't have a fight song.
Nope.
They don't have a mascot. So we don't know what the mascot going to look like.
Ain't no mascot.
We're just going to ask one of the old. We're going to ask one of the old military guys just put on his uniform and just stand on the sideline. That's it, Commander.
Stand right there. Oh, you can't stand? All right, whatever.
We're going to give him a stool.
I can tell what little thought was put into this.
18 months.
So needless to say, initial thoughts were not happy, and the majority of the fan base is not happy. So, all right, trying to somewhat move on.
Yeah.
So with the name change is only the beginning. What is the state of the Washington team? And notice I couldn't even bring myself to put Commanders in this banner right here. But in
I'm
your opinion,
I'm going to keep trying to say Commanders because I want to see if it sinks
if it
in.
sticks,
Yeah. So I gotta say it. The state of the Commanders. The state of
I'm
the
not gonna.
Commanders. Let me say this. I'm gonna actually put a slight positive spin on this as far as the state of the team. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that we are one QB and maybe a couple pieces here and there away from being some serious contenders, not only in our division, but in the NFC conference. The reason why I say this is I was with Ron Rivera when I was talking maybe about roughly a month ago, when they said that someone was interviewing him and they were saying the speculation right now was saying that you know Washington may not be a desirable place for a well-established quarterback, a veteran quarterback, to come in and want to play. And I was with Ron Rivera when he defended that because this team isn't old Washington, where there were so many gaping holes and so many things that had to get done, and basically the place where careers came to die. Like this wasn't it. This team is different. The struggles of this team is not because the roster is bad. It's because the roster is young. When you look at it from top to bottom, it ain't a bunch of long in the tooth players. You got maybe Brandon Sheriff here. We let Ryan Kerrigan we let him walk. I know we brought in John Bostic to kind of be the veteran presence in the linebacker room. Like so we had little veteran guys, like long in the tooth guys here and there, but overall this is a very young squad, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now for me, how I'm looking at it, if I'm a quarterback and I want a chance, I'm looking at the whole landscape, right? The AFC, you guys talked about it on your show the other day. The AFC is basically the class right now when it comes to these young stud next generation quarterbacks, correct? Everybody
Yep.
is it's basically just a sprint to the Super Bowl through the AFC because everybody basically got a stud except for like a couple teams here and there. Basically, everybody else has a stud QB that's going to be there, barring injury, barring anything catastrophic, probably going to be there for the next 10 years. All right. The NFC is where it's in flux when you think about it. Aaron Rodgers, how long is he going to play? Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson's fairly young. People, it feels like he's been here forever, but he just turned what, 30, 31, somewhere around there. So he's still relatively young.
Yeah, he's in his early 30s.
Right. So, but even then, he's considered like a vet. Matt Ryan, he needs to be out the door. Don't even get me started with that. Matt Ryan's got to go. We've already lost. Drew Brees is already retired. Tom Brady, the GOAT, just retired. So you seeing these guys from the NFC side that is kind of like in an influx as far as like the quarterback position and how they're going to perform. Now I'm looking at the division specifically. The only quarterback I'm afraid of is Dak Prescott. And that's not even saying much because Dak Prescott was wildly inconsistent this past season. And everybody knows and it's not to diminish the skills of Dak Prescott, but everybody knows in order for Dak Prescott to be successful, everything around him has to be in a certain tier. It can't, you're not going to put the whole thing on his shoulders and expect him to win it for you all the way. When I'm meaning like Super Bowl, conference championship, you're not getting that. So
Yeah.
when I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at Washington's roster, I don't expect the defense to play as bad as they did. And they were coming along as the season
went on. Yep.
as the season went on. They were coming along, right? Okay. We may lose Brandon Sheriff. Even if we do, with that offensive line, especially since we got rid of Morgan Moses, the offensive line is one of the top 5 offensive lines in football. One, maybe top 5, top 7, when healthy. So we're going to have a healthy, get all our guys back healthy on the offensive line. Antonio Gibson has proven to be an all-purpose back. Okay, he had another 1,000-yard season.
Yep.
He had I think it was like over 1,400 all-purpose yards, including receiving and all that stuff. Okay, yep. I'm pretty sure they're going to re-sign J.D. McKissick. So you're going to have that 1-2 punch combo in the backfield. Terry McLaurin, with all the quarterback stress that we've had, Terry McLaurin has had 1,000-yard seasons since he's been in the league. So he's already a proven stud again. So he's already a proven stud as a number one. I believe Cam Sims can be a legitimate number two. I think just Cam Sims doesn't get enough burn. I think Cam Sims can be a baller. He does some very acrobatic things as a wide receiver to make things do. Okay, looking at the tight end position, Logan Thomas. We'll get Logan Thomas back healthy. But even if Logan Thomas isn't all the way right, that rookie Bates was solid for us at the tight end position this past season. Was solid for us when Logan Thomas went down. So I'm looking at all of this, and you're telling me, okay, I have a decent defense that I'm pretty sure that started playing better as the season went forward. I got a solid offensive line. When healthy, I know I'll be protected. I know I got a run game that I can rely on, so it's not going to be all on my shoulders. I got a bona fide number one receiver. I got a couple receivers behind him that can make plays, and I got two tight ends that are going to be Commander Heineke. That I got two tight ends that are going to give me a security blanket to go to. Why wouldn't you want to come to Washington? You're in a division that if you are the best QB in this division, you more than likely will win the division. That's point blank period. Because all you're doing is Dak, Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts. If you're the best QB coming in here to this team, you're more than likely going to win the division. When you look at Washington last season, this past season, some of the games that were lost, no shade to Heineke. He's gutsy, he's gritty, but there were moments where you saw and you were like, if we had a little better quarterback play, we probably would have won that game. There were like 2-3 games where you're like, that's on you, Heineke. That's on you. We lost that because of you. So when I see that, why wouldn't I be intrigued? Why, if I'm Russell Wilson, who hasn't had an offensive line basically since his second, third year in the league, you haven't had a strong offensive line. Pete Carroll's supposed to be a defensive guru. Your defense is not doing enough to help you out to win. To win. I see you, Roger. You know your defense hasn't done enough to help you to support you. Your running game has been inconsistent. Like you are the running game. No slouch to Carson. Carson is a baller, but Carson gets hurt a lot of times, so it's not consistent. The only thing you have to hang your hat on is Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, and that's not be intrigued by that. And someone that should have been in Washington in the first place in Russell Wilson, because that's who Mike Shanahan wanted. So my bad. I'm recovering from COVID, so I got this cough and stuff. Yeah,
No, bro. I think we all caught a bit of that.
yeah. So I mean, still struggling getting this voice back together. But I'm looking at all these things. Why wouldn't a QB be intrigued to come into this division, knowing that more than likely, man, if I plug myself into that system with those pieces, I'm more than likely will win the division, get a chance to go into the playoffs, and probably make some noise in the playoffs. I mean, look what we did with Tampa this season. We still gave Tampa Bay fits. So it's definitely possible. Byron saying what QB I want. Right now, the rumor is that Russell Wilson is like the top person that they're trying to covet. I would not be upset if Russell Wilson came to Washington. I would still want to draft a QB though, not in the first round, but I would want to draft a QB though, just to put behind him for sure.
I completely agree. I think Russell Wilson should really consider coming east. he should really consider coming east and start fresh. A guy who's running a team that has discipline in himself and is building his own structure. And a guy who's proven.
Yeah.
Coming from Carroll to Ron Rivera, I think that would be maybe not ideal, but it's something to look into because our defensive line is all young guys, all young stuff.
All young.
Our defense as a whole is relatively young outside of, John Bostic, Landon Collins, here and there, but that's only 2 guys. You take
Yep.
the average, pretty much everybody is young for the most part.
Yep.
So with youth comes some stability that comes along with that, because I seem to remember the last time Russell Wilson having a good defense, he went to back-to-back Super Bowls. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And Ron Rivera is a defensive coach. So Russell Wilson could come in and this is your offense. You can you can make
whatever
the best
you want to do.
Whatever you want to do, you got it. Because I got you on the other end.
Yep.
You were going down the list of our highlighted players. Antonio Gibson, as long as he holds it to the ball, he can be a top 10, top 5 running back in the league. Just got to hold it to the ball. The fumbles is what's killing him.
What's killing him? Yep.
Terry McLaurin, top 5. I don't care what nobody say. Top 5.
He's
right
a complete
now.
receiver. He can do everything.
He could be seen as a little bit undersized, but he's a baller. And he's not scared to go over the middle.
Look at Stephon Diggs.
He's made acrobatic catches, and he's amazing. No matter who's throwing him the ball, but he's like the football's the same size. No matter who's throwing it,
I'm gonna
go get it. It's just, and Taylor Heineke, he's a dog.
Yep.
He deserves a spot on this roster.
Yes.
Just maybe not QB1.
Yes, but he could be my backup.
He for sure. He's for sure has proven at the very least that he's QB2.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? At the very least.
Yes.
I think I was talking to a good friend of mine and mentor, and he's worked closely with the NFL in many different facets and many different ways. And we were talking about the coaching carousels that's going on. And I was saying that, part of the problem why we got 7, 8 coaches getting fired pretty much on a yearly, annual basis is because they don't have a quarterback. And he was saying, yes, but it's a little bit more to it. And I asked him to explain. He went on to talk about, what's the word to use? Ideology. What does this organization stand for? Have you noticed that pretty much for the most part, the same teams, are pretty much at the end, same that's going to the playoffs, that's consistent. If we look at, like I'm saying, 7 to 8, it's between 7 to 8 coaches that's fired every year. It's about 16 teams that's okay with where they are. There are certain organizations that we look at and we're like, that's a championship contending organization.
Mm-hmm.
They're about Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some organizations that's like, we cool with being here. We're cool with either just making the playoffs or just being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about half the league. So about somewhere between 14, 15, 16, 17 teams that's like, okay. Their owners have other ventures. They kind of just did this because it was something to do. Right. And then we have the organizations like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's like, nah, we're about making it. We're about winning. Packers used to be the Cowboys, not anymore. There's a handful of teams that's like that, that's going to compete every year because that's what they're about. They're about this football thing, as opposed to some owners that's like, kind of just got a team because it was cool.
It was a thing to do.
It was a hot thing to do, and I had money to do it. Everybody can't say that they've done that, right?
Right.
So I'm looking at, and I'm pulling silver linings, right? The Commanders. I look at Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is he served in the armed forces, very disciplined, very structured, something that Washington hasn't had in quite some time.
For sure.
He's trying to bring some stability, some structure to a team where, we had a circus on an annual basis with the organization, and he's not about that. We all are familiar with his health concerns when he got the job.
Mm-hmm.
He fought that, able to come out on top, showing perseverance, almost showing that he can command a team. Dare I say? So
Pun intended.
I see where I'm trying to make sense out of this. I see where they're trying to go with this. This is the ideology that they're trying to create. This is the new culture that they're trying to create, because what it once was got stale.
Yeah.
So we have a chance for a new beginning, and I think this is where the name Commanders derive from. And on top of that, we are the District of Columbia. We are the nation's capital. We house the president and his cabinet and all that and all those good things. And he is the commander in chief. Trying to make sense out of this. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing good. They should have had you at the unveiling today to break it down like this. You probably would have made some more believers. They should have had you.
I'm just saying, just sitting, giving myself time to sit in this, because I'm not going anywhere.
You selling it. So, you selling it.
So I'm trying to trying to make it make sense in my head so I can buy in.
Yeah.
So I think this is where the culture is going. They're trying to be structured all the way around, disciplined. We're not about the foolishness that goes on in the NFL. Just trying to get out of that, because we have been a clown show, for the most part. So I think, as far as the state of the Washington Commanders, I think this is where they are trying to go. And I'm here for the ride. The only thing is, none of this matters if we don't win.
For sure. And we gotta see what happens tomorrow, because Dan Snyder is supposed to be there for that hearing on Capitol Hill. It's tomorrow. So we gotta hear what's going on with that, based on all the stuff that went down with the basically the Discord working environment of the organization, all that stuff that was going on with the former cheerleaders, some of the women of the staff that used to work there. So that hearing is tomorrow. So that's also going to be a telling thing for sure.
Wow. Thanks for that. Now, something we definitely have to look out for. But you see, the past, our past is still very much here. We're
still haunting.
Very haunting. We're trying to move on, but it's very much haunting. And here comes Raj with some more.
No. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Let me be very, very clear. Okay? Let me be very, very clear. If Jimmy G steps foot on this organization, on this football team, I will make myself be a Ravens fan. I promise you. If I see Jimmy G walk through those doors saying that he is QB1, I will be a Ravens fan. And I can pass for a Ravens fan because I know Ravens history. So I could be a legit fan. Okay? I do not want Jimmy G. We've seen it. We know what it looks like. I don't want it. I don't want a guy. It's basically like a Kirk Cousins 2.0 when you bring in Jimmy G. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I don't want that. I'm over that. We've been through that saga with Kirk Cousins. We've been there. He can get you. He can get you high. And you're thinking, okay, might be the person, and then it drops. I don't. I'm good on him. We just saw what he did in the conference championship. We just saw it.
Yeah.
I'm good on him. There's a reason why 49ers traded.
Oh God. Gotta get my man back in here. They try to cut my man's off. That means Jimmy G is coming. Hope he's able to come back in here. But Byron, oh wait, he's back.
Yep. Yeah, that might have been me. My fault.
Okay. I thought they overheard. They said, "Oh, you're talking too much. Get him out of here."
It's making too much sense. No, but I'm like, we just saw what happened in the conference championship. Like, they gave up the sun, moon, and stars to get Trey Lance. for a reason. They did it for a reason. They gave up a whole lot for a reason. Roger, I'm telling you, if Jimmy G walks through the door, just somebody pass me a Ray Lewis jersey. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm not. No, I can't go through another season like that. I really can't. I really can't.
Right. That would be so. That would be a Redskin thing to do. That would be a that would be a formerly known as thing to do. Hopefully the Commanders don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm trying to. Oh gosh, look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, it really, it's the upgraded Jimmy Dilfer. If the 49ers had won the Super Bowl when they were supposed to win, it was literally Jimmy Dilfer. You're absolutely correct.
This was when you got kicked out.
That's when I got kicked out. Dan Snyder heard me. That's when I got kicked out. My bad. Hey, Dan, I'm just speaking truth, Dan. I'm just speaking facts, man. We got to do better. We got to do better. You had this team in a chokehold for too long. We got to do better, man.
Hey, man, I think he needs to put me on his media team and put me on salary. I'll try to navigate myself out of this. Gosh, I don't even know where to go. I'm just Commanders. It's right here.
Yeah, you got to keep saying it, man. You just got to keep saying it. Now, Mark, listen. I know you said the only team you have zero faith in is listen. The Giants actually might scare me depending on how Daniel Jones develops this offseason. Reason being, Dabble is very, very, very good. We saw it. Dabble is great at developing quarterbacks. We saw what he did with Josh Allen over there in Buffalo. Okay, he's very good at developing quarterbacks. The problem with the Giants, that offensive line is terrible. The defense isn't bad; they just underperform. The offensive line is bad, but they got Tony over there. We're gonna see what they do with the tight end position. But if he could develop Daniel Jones, that could be scary. And then the fact of the GM that they got, like the Giants, well, for reasons that we now know, the Giants might be in a whole world of trouble. But the Giants, as far as GM and head coaching wise, they kind of hit a home run. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants do. It really will be interesting.
That's very true. And I wanted to point out something. Because you said if Jimmy G comes, you're right. Do you remember what I had to do about a couple years ago? Well, not even a couple years ago, maybe last year. I had a big announcement once the Washington Wizards picked up Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
I said, hell no.
Yes.
And I was off. I was damn near off basketball, but I was damn sure off the Washington Wizards.
I remember.
I can't. I know what he is. I know what he is, and I know what he brings to the table. I don't even want the table no more. Like whatever he brings it, I don't even. You can take the table. I don't even want it no more. So I took a year off until they traded him, and I came back. So I am 100% with you with the Jimmy G comment.
Listen, what did the late great Maya Angelou said? When they show you who they are, believe them. That's really what it is.
Believe them.
Believe them. You guys, it's the reality. Jimmy G has shown us who he is in New England and in San Francisco. He's not bad, but he ain't there. And this next group of young quarterbacks, especially on the AFC side, you gotta be there. You gotta hit, and if you don't hit, then no, you can't be average.
No, and that's where he is. I think that's the tier. If we were breaking down the tiers of quarterbacks, he would be in the average one with Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, and
all of them in that bunch,
and a couple others.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm right here with you. So it's funny because we can't really say the state of the Commanders because it's kind of new. That's why I just said football team.
Football team. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm trying my best. I'm trying. These guys aren't helping
at all. Hey, this is good. Still I rise.
I can't. These guys are not helping. But and remember, I got to do a show with a couple of these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to hear about this at least until this football season starts, because we all know winning cures everything.
Hey, listen, my Just a Fan podcast has 2 Cowboy fans, so trust me, I'm going to be hearing this thing all off season, So trust me, I get it.
They don't stop. They don't stop.
Byron, log off, Byron. Log off, man. Log off, man.
So okay, with that, after talking about the state of the Washington team.
Yeah.
What does this look like? What does this mean moving forward?
As far as the name, or just the team in general?
Man, we talking about all this stuff, man. But because this is a fresh start. This is a fresh start. So let's start with the name. Let's start with that. Then we'll eventually get into the organization, and we can talk about on the football field.
So it's just funny because I feel like they've made a whole case about keeping the tradition of Washington football, and what Washington football meant for every for Washington, for the fans here in the area. And I just feel like not that they cut off Washington Redskins, not that they cut ties, but it does feel like it's just like a new chapter in a book. I really believe that. Or it might just be a new book. You know how you have a one book series, but you got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. This might be volume 2. You know what I'm saying? This might be volume 2, and it gives them an opportunity, especially this coming season. If they got a name, okay, they're identified. They got a name. They got something to build from and kind of believe in and feel. And if they can come into the season with that kind of that feeling, because that was the thing about when they did the Washington football team, I felt like they didn't know what to grab onto. Like, when you think of the Dallas Cowboys, like they grab onto the star. They are the Dallas Cowboys. They hold on to that. When you think of the New England Patriots, they're the Patriots. That's something that it means something to them. You know what I'm saying? Even the Giants, even in their struggles, but they're the Giants. They're the Giants. It means something. So now that you have the name Commanders, even though we're not fans of it, but you have something that you can rally behind. It's like a rallying cry that you identify now, you can get behind. So this is an opportunity for them to create a whole new book, a whole new a whole new generation of fans that maybe one day we look down the line and all they know is about the Commanders and the success of the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? You could really be introducing. I mean, you don't hear too many people that talk about the Houston Oilers when they became the Tennessee Titans. You know what I'm saying? Most of this generation only know the Titans. So it's a chance to really just build and build something new and give the fans, a winning product on the field that they can rally behind. So, it can be good if they win.
I think that's exactly where we're at, because like I said, and like being in the sports world, winning cures everything. And I don't say it's funny that we say it cures everything, because it's not many things in this world that cures everything. You know what I'm saying? But winning in sports, you can cover anything up. You cover up a scandal. uh, you can cover up cheating. It can all be covered up
As long as
if
you
you
win.
win. As long as you win. Now, granted, we don't want none of that stuff in this new
Right.
era, in this second volume of Washington football.
Definitely don't.
We definitely don't want that. But if once we, and I'm speaking into existence, trying my best, once we start winning, this won't be a thing. Like I said, these are just initial thoughts. Things are going to happen. Things are going to continue to change and hopefully progress. You know, and I feel as though once we are able to, you know, one, get a quarterback.
That's number one. Number one this offseason.
And two, put things together, put some wins together. Because again, like I believe Mark said earlier, and we all agree because we know we're Washington fans, that our division is very open.
Very much so.
Like I'm not worried. If we get a legit quarterback, we're competing. And the road, the easiest road to the playoffs is winning your division. And it's very winnable if we can compete and have our quarterback. So man, look, you see these guys? You see this mess?
Hey, listen, you were selling it earlier. You were selling it. You were selling it.
Man in the group, he's to improve it. I like it. I'm just, trying to make sense behind it, and something that I feel as though, okay, I can get behind this. After my initial thoughts and being able to sit down and really think about it. But I think all of this boils down to winning. And everything, like,
amen.
This can be either the beginning of something great or the beginning of something goofy.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the late Al Davis said it. Just win, baby. You do that.
And we know the Raiders. We know how the Raiders get down.
Exactly.
They win. It's all good. I'll pay whatever fines. I'll pay whatever fines. Whatever. I'll cover wherever I cover. I got a lot of money.
Jerry Jones the same way. Jerry Jones the same way down there in Dallas. You win. It don't matter. It don't matter. So yeah.
I think. Hold up. So yeah, moving forward, this can obviously it's still very early. This is going one of two ways. And honestly, starting tomorrow could be a new chapter. Depending on
we're gonna see what happened at this hearing.
These hearings, allegations, all that stuff, to see where we're going and how long is this so-called like cloud gonna be over us. And is there any sun? Is there any sun in the near future? So moving forward, honestly, it's too early. It's too early to determine. But like Al Davis said, that should be on everybody's wall. just
win, baby.
Just win.
Yeah.
Now, Commander, they really running. Folks are really running.
I cannot. Hey, man. Hey, listen. We'll take all the hits now, but when we win the division, I'm gonna put faith in that team. We win the division.
Hey, listen. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll take it all now. If tomorrow, I'll take this today. If tomorrow's gonna be better.
That's it.
That's my thing. And even I think Byron was saying that that making the playoffs, like that's gonna be the surprise. Us making the playoffs. But listen, man, we got to get Dallas back. Dallas, we need some get back for that. But yeah, man. Any other thoughts? Final thoughts about this team name moving forward, the state?
In regards to the defense, I almost thought that Rivera might have taken a look at Jack Del Rio, but I think he just really has faith in him. Jack Del Rio, I hope you learned, and it seemed like you did. So I'm hoping. I hope you learned your lesson in not relying solely on talent. Coaching matters, scheme still matters in this league. You cannot just assume I got these first round picks on this front line and I'm just gonna rush them and play soft zone coverage and that's it. You gotta scheme them up. You gotta do stunts, do twists, put them in different positions. You got to utilize them in different places so that they can be dominant. Stop. Do not drop back Chase Young. Chase Young's assignment is to go after the QB. It's not to drop back in. It's not to drop back in coverage. Chase Young's. I understand that he's an athlete. I get it. His assignment is to rush the quarterback. Also, we need to identify, and I know he's only going into the second year. I understand that he's wrong. Please identify and admit you're wrong when you botched the first round pick last year. I'm not saying Jamin Davis is a bust as a player. I'm saying for the position that you all drafted him, y'all botched it. He's not a Mike linebacker. He is an outside linebacker. And they said they're going to practice him on the outside, which means we still do not have a legitimate Mike linebacker. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to go back into the draft or look into free agency because we're going to have some money now. Yes. Okay. We're going to have some money. So we're either going to look into the draft or look into free agency for a legitimate middle linebacker, Mike linebacker. We have to have it. It's the only way it works. It only works like that in Ron Rivera's scheme. Okay. We understand that Jack Del Rio's running defense, but it's under Ron Rivera's philosophy. Ron Rivera's defense is not the same without a very intelligent and athletic Mike linebacker. The problem with Jamin Davis was the game was too fast for him mentally. Physically has all the tools. Mentally, it's not there, and it might develop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to poo-poo him. And it might develop, but he just wasn't ready for it last year. It doesn't. I should never see a first round draft pick at a position unless it's the quarterback position. I should never see a first round draft pick barely get any snaps in a game. That should never happen unless you're playing the quarterback position. That should never happen. You're drafted in the first round. You're supposed to play 40, 45 to 50% of those snaps as a rookie. You're drafted in the first round for a reason. I think it was just too fast for him at the Mike linebacker position. When a couple games they shifted him to the outside and he made some plays. So all the physical tools are there. So I think they got to admit that. Go into free agency, go into the draft, and see if you can. This is the draft to look. Find a legitimate Mike linebacker, or go into free agency. Find a legitimate Mike linebacker. It's not. God bless Holcomb. I love Holcomb. He's not athletic enough to do what you need him to do with these tight ends. Okay,
nope.
It's not Bostic. Bostic has it here, but he's long in the tooth. So he's not, and he's always been a thumper anyway. So he's never really been that athletic freak. And now that he's older, he's definitely not it. So you have to go and find it in order for it to work for Ron Rivera's defense. Ron Rivera's defense was great in Carolina because he had Luke Kuechly in the middle.
Yep.
You gotta find another Luke Kuechly. You gotta find it. And I think they thought Jamin Davis was it. And again, he might develop into it, but right now that's not it. So they need to figure that out. Definitely need to figure out the quarterback position. I don't think there's any quarterback in this draft that warrants a first round pick. So I wouldn't want to waste our pick. There, I would. What would I want to pick at 12? We have a pick 11 or 12. I can't remember.
One of them.
Man, I don't know.
They get it.
I would have said offensive line because we might be losing Brandon Sheriff, but that other guard, I forgot his name, slips from my mind right now, but he was pretty solid when Sheriff was hurt. There's no linebacker that warrants that pick. So maybe a corner.
I
Maybe.
was thinking, I was thinking DB, because it's quite it's gonna couple of it's gonna be about because somebody's gonna fall because the quarterback's going to get picked somehow, some way. Quarterback's going to get picked.
Oh,
So
I think the Steelers will get Kenny Pickett.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But appropriate, and he ain't got moved far.
Exactly. Exactly.
um,
So yeah, one of the corners will probably fall. I think it's about 3-4 of them that could potentially be first rounders. It's Stingley, the boy Sauce from Cincinnati.
who Bearcats? Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
dog. There's
He's
a
going.
couple of them.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And which means somebody's gonna fall. I mean, I think both the pass rushers are going pretty early. Probably 2 quarterbacks are going to be picked in the top
Possibly.
10. And here's Byron. Byron, another comment.
Yeah, see, it's just the fact that 12 is high. I agree. I physically, he's got all the tools. What I've been reading is that he's been the best QB so far in for the college all-star game in practice. He's been the best one out of the bunch. I just think 12 is high. I just think that's high for any of these guys. Any of the
So
go ahead.
well, so you were saying high. Should we explore possibly trading back because there's not much to trade up for?
Yeah. Collect more pick. Can you collect more picks? Or use the chip, use that first round chip for a trade for one of the stellar veteran QBs.
I like that
like a Russell Wilson.
I like that option. Because one thing I hate picking in the middle.
It's the same issue with the Wizards. They're not bad enough to be in the lottery, but they ain't good enough to for us to not need to pick somebody good. It's the same thing, same issue. We can never be in the top 5. Never. We could have had Joe Burrow. We were literally a 2-point conversion away. That Miami game.
And I'm like, damn.
Could have had Joe Burrow.
Damn.
We just had to lose one more game. We could have had Joe Burrow.
We just had to lose one more game.
We just had to lose one more game. Oh no, he's too raw. Elam from Florida. He's too raw. He's too raw. I like him, but raw, super raw. Yeah, I don't know. I think
second round.
I think either trading it down.
We won't pick the quarterback. Just that first round. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, second round. I'm cool with. I'm good. I'm good with second round. I'm good with second round getting one of those guys. I would Matt Corral or Malik for me in the second round, or Howell, the kid from North Carolina, in the second round. If they did that, because what we messed up last year when we should have picked up Davis Mills in the third round, and we let the Houston Texans grab him. Davis Mills is all right from Stanford now. He just had a couple injury issues. He was all right. He would have fit right with this system because you're not going to ask a lot of the QB because you want to run the football. So you're going to have play action. You're going to have zone reads. You're not asking a whole lot. So he would have been perfect.
And here we go. Look at this.
Yeah, Sam Howell. Yep. I'd be cool. I'd be cool with Sam Howell. I would be cool. Second round. None of these guys weren't the best QB of this class would be the 6th best QB of last year's class. That's where we are. So this isn't the class to get it. Now 2023 is different.
Yeah.
You got Caleb Williams. It will be coming out. You got the other cat. I'm trying to remember his name. You got the other cat.
Bryce Young. I believe Bryce Young should be
from Alabama. He's going to be coming out. So 2023, yes, is going to be something to look at for sure if you need a QB. And I'm almost okay with if they did that to say we'll want to get one of those guys next year. I'm almost okay, but that means you have to play poorly enough to get there. And I'm not looking for this. I don't even think they can. I think this team is too talented to even get to that point.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Even with Heineke, like I don't foresee that defense playing as poorly for the first half of the year as they did. You know,
no,
this past year.
No, and I think the schedule. I think the schedule, if I remember correctly, I think the schedule is relatively friendly. It's not really that difficult.
Yeah,
it's not that difficult. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast. I think when I saw it at a glance, like a month ago, I don't think the schedule's that bad.
And so, Dallas won the division, so they're gonna get the harder part of the schedule.
Exactly. I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we get a quarterback and compete in this division because Dallas real life just railroaded everybody. I think they went 6-0.
Yeah.
We get a quarterback, we're competing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the schedule now. Chicago, Dallas. It's not in any particular order.
Yeah.
Chicago, Dallas, Detroit, Houston, Indianapolis, Giants, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Dallas, Giants, Eagles, Green Bay, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta. It's not terrible. It's not
terrible at all. It's not terrible at all. So
who would be my concern? Outside of the division, who would be my concern? San Francisco.
I mean,
and Green Bay. Everybody else can be beat.
But both quarterbacks that played this year may not be there the next year.
Exactly.
So who knows? Who knows what the Packers will? I have a good idea of how the Packers will look without Aaron Rodgers. Now how would the 49ers look without Jimmy G? It's like, are we really concerned? Like the team, I'm talking quarterbacks, but the team is pretty good, well put together. And talking about the 49ers.
In the last 10 years, in the last 10 years of quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, Trey Lance has had the least snaps in college football in the last 10 years. He's got to play.
I mean, the least snaps. He's the least snaps in the last 10 years in pro football, and the least snaps period in college in the last year of college.
Yep.
So
he got no PT.
Zero. So, like, I mean, none at all. So I'm interested because it's too early to say whether they boxed or not, but I'm hearing in practice he's not performing.
He's raw. He's too raw. That's why I honestly think San Francisco would possibly keep Jimmy G. I think they would have kept him if that cap hit wasn't so high. They would owe him $25 million next season. If that number wasn't so high, they'd probably keep him for another year and let Trey Lance sit. But Trey Lance got to play. He's not going to get better unless he plays. You got to play him.
No, I completely agree. That mental.
It's not enough.
It's not the same as getting in there, getting your feet wet, getting your hands dirty. It's not the same. But I mean, Jimmy G only has 1 year left on his contract. It's 24, 25 mil.
25.
Whoever they trade with is going to eat that. Going to have to eat that because I don't know if you're not going to renegotiate the last year because it's the last year.
That's another reason why I don't want him to come to Washington. I don't want to eat that. If you're only going to be 1 year, I don't want to eat that.
Hell no. It's a hell to the nah.
Exactly.
Hell to the nah.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That would be terrible. But also, I'm also feeling optimistic because we got about 30 mil in the cap, 30 40. Mil under the cap in this case. So we got some money to play with. So I think money's not an issue.
Nope.
In landing one of these quarterbacks.
Right. They just got to be worth it.
It's got
We
to
can
be worth it.
we can take their money, but they got to be worth it.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Man, Tristan, I appreciate you, good brother. Coming on pretty much, like I said, this was all, we all made this, we all grew this from 2 days ago.
Literally.
Damn near impromptu. Damn near impromptu. I appreciate your time.
For sure.
Like I said, I'm going to check out the rest of your podcast to see what you had to say. Well, when you really start to dive in on the Ravens, and I'm very, very curious to see. I wish you luck on all of your lavish adventures with your, as you said, a serial podcaster.
Yes, serial podcaster.
And I hope we can have you on. I hope we can have you on on the show sometime soon. And hell, we could be on Roll Ramos or podcast. I don't know how you work at things. It seems pretty new. So I'm more than willing to help out and come on, talk my shit.
For sure.
If you would so allow me.
Oh, but, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. What did Byron talk about? There you go. There you go. Appreciate you, good brother.
Byron a fool.
Wow. He's really wild. And I think as the more you watch our show, it's him. He's the wild one. Because if you look at the show, it's Dre. It's Dre. But it be him.
He be low key. See, he be low key with it. That's why it's very subtle. It's very subtle.
It be him. Initially, I would say if you just look at any random show, you be like, it's Dre. But then you keep watching, like, yo, that Byron. That Byron. He calls himself the host with the moist. And I'm like, brother, I can't get behind that.
I be seeing your faces every time you say it. It's like, oh, come on.
I'm like, moist. But see, Dre and Roger egg it on.
They egg it on.
And I'll be like, and I just be here. I just be here.
That thing is funny to me.
I just be here, bro. But Tristan, my man, I appreciate you so much. One more time, tell the people how they can keep up with you and all, and the podcast you're in and following you and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, you can follow me on social medias. Just search for Tristan TV 20, Tristan TV 20. And please, again, follow my podcast, Just a Fan Podcast, and Rolling with Ramos podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Please follow and subscribe, and share all our stuff. All the episodes are on there. Also, you can listen to us whatever podcast platform that you use to listen to podcasts. We're all over there. So, Just a Fan Podcast, Rolling with Ramos podcast. Rolling with Ramos, we talk about all sports. Just a Fan Podcast is football centric.
Appreciate you, good brother. For those of y'all that's still with us, of course, tune into the Flex Zone Monday evenings when we are. I'm not saying it. Y'all just read it. We're that. We're that. Okay, guys. We're that. But yeah, go ahead and get up out of here. We adults. We got stuff to do tomorrow.
Sure.
Again, man, Tristan, appreciate you. We'll have you on
appreciate
at some point soon. But we'll be in contact, good brother. Give my best to the wife, to the family, and all that good stuff, brother.
Will do, bro.
Oh snap! Wait.
Yep.
Byron also said that, and wait, I'm still learning, Byron.
There you go. Boom.
I'm still learning. Hey. The lavish, the hashtag, the Flex Zone 1. Please donate what you can, good people.
Yes, sir.
Go to a good cause. I promise. All right, Tristan, we about to get up out of here. Thanks again, bro.
Oh, all love, man. All love.
We out. Peace.
Peace.
Oh yeah, and it was all day. It was all day. It was
I
all
got to ask
day.
you about the card.
It was all day. Listen, bro, if it wasn't so rude, I'd do the podcast like this. If it wasn't so rude, I'd do it just like this, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a
All
goofy
day
day.
goofy. All day goofy.
What a goofy day. But good brother, and to all the good people, Byron, Tiffany, Raj, my boy Chance, Mark. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody because we had a lot of comments tonight.
Yeah.
For this impromptu session that we're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. We love you guys. Have a good night, Tristan. Peace, brother.
All right, peace.